Well, we are 6 days away from Hell in a Cell. Is that 6? Don't mind Jason Funny.
This is 6.
Yes, there's 6. 6 days away from Hell in a Cell. We just had the go-home show to Hell in a Cell. And did it really feel like a go-home show? Did it feel like a go-home show to you? The last show to the pay-per-view for Monday Night Raw.
Well, they had it in a big area, which is New Orleans.
Did it come off as a real important? Did big, huge spot things happen to build and hype this show up?
It's about as good as you're going to get these days.
About as good as it's going to get.
It's not going to be the 1980s and 90s, so,
speaking of 1980s and 90s, speaking of the old era, Jason Funny.
Trying to say I'm old?
Jason Funny is about to start his own show right here on the channel.
This channel.
Yes, this channel.
He made a huge mistake.
Now, well, he says that, but, not only will you see him, periodically on the reviews as far as the pay-per-views are concerned, but Jason Funny 42 channel, he will be bringing his life right here for what's the name of the show?
The name of the show is going to be the Jason Funny Report.
Featuring what kind of content?
No, it's going to be the Blast of the Past. It's going to be called WWE Blast from the Past. That's what it's going to be called with Jason Funny.
All right. WWE Blast from the Past. All of your old favorite classic material, that kind of stuff.
Old-timey material.
Old-timey material. So tune in for that amongst everything else that you usually see right here on the channel.
I'm old,
each and every week. No, that's not the reason
old school.
why. Well, yes, you are old school, but I would not say that you're old.
I get my vast knowledge of the past.
Yes. So tune in for that. That will be coming up real shortly on the channel. But now, Monday Night Raw, the go-home show. What did you think of the Mick Foley segment? Mick Foley now involved in Hell in a Cell this Sunday. Mick Foley, the special guest referee at Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my opinion, let's face it, he wasn't there to really hype up his grand, fantastic, beautiful artwork that him and The Undertaker made back in 1998 King of the Ring Hell in a Cell matchup. He wasn't there to do that. He was there to hype up Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. No doubt about that. But him being the special guest referee, does that give you any kind of excitement for their matchup? Because there's no doubt in my mind that Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns has gotten a lot of criticism from the fans. Me
makes it more interesting,
and many others have criticized the rivalry, the build towards this matchup because of the booking of both of the characters, Braun and Roman Reigns. So does this make this any more interesting?
It makes it more interesting, I think, having Mick Foley as the referee. I think it does.
Do you think he's going to do anything?
Adds a little spice to this stew.
It does, doesn't it?
Yep. Sure does. They got to do something for this match. I mean, they got to do something to make this match just a little bit bigger than what, they got to do something to spice it up.
Yes.
I mean, they're going to have to.
What?
Because within itself, just the Hell in a Cell, it's not very spicy. So they had to put some Mick Foley pepper in it.
Yeah.
He, by the way, looked really good. Lost weight and just really, he looked like in great shape for his age. Kind of like me. But anyway.
That's funny. Anyway.
Jason funny.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Weird Al funny. All right. Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre opened up the show talking about what happened last week. The brutality that they and 12 other heels gave to the Shield. Seth Rollins going through a police van, steel steps flying all over the place, announce table being destroyed, amongst other things. They were describing what happened. All of a sudden, the Shield comes down, and the biggest thing that came to my mind was they were not showing any injury whatsoever. Now, I do understand that WWE put out that they refused medical attention. Like they were just some awesome, godly force. But after seeing that kind of beatdown, you would think that they would have some bandage, something. Doesn't make any sense. They're writing. They're storytelling.
They heal fast.
Well, I guess you could put it that way in defense to WWE's creative team, but it was pretty pathetic how they laid that out, if you ask me. Well, what about you?
Well, I mean, you know, I've seen injuries less and they come out with bandages. It really depends on if the creative team is on top of the situation. I guess they was not. I guess they might think that maybe bandages is a little too fakeish, but they could have put on a bruise or two.
So pretty much you're telling me the same thing. Creative team sucked when it came to this story.
They could have put in a bruise at least, maybe, you know, with makeup and stuff.
Right. Okay. Ruby Riott versus Nikki Bella. Now, this is continuing from last week. The Bella twins taking on the Riott squad. And now, of course, Nikki Bella getting some more warm-up matches, really, because Evolution coming up and the big Super Showdown in October coming up. Which, you know, the Bellas are going to be in 6-man tag team action and all that kind of good stuff with Ronda Rousey at the Super Showdown against the Riott Squad. Plus, rumor has it that Nikki Bella is going to be facing Ronda Rousey at Evolution for the Raw Women's Championship.
Uh-huh.
So, do you like that Nikki Bella and the Bellas are getting warm-up matches with the Riott Squad?
I don't know. Beltran's overrated, and I'm not really too much interested in the other group. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to say that I'm just, you know, against women matches, but I'm more interested in the women matches on SmackDown. And I don't really keep up with the ones in Raw.
So you're more interested in, Charlotte.
I didn't say that. What?
All you got to do is follow your Twitter, right? You put the Queen.
The Queen, yeah. What?
So, AOP versus Jobbers. The biggest thing about this is coming out of AOP returning and getting back on TV more is Drake Maverick. And his relationship being their manager on TV. Now, on 205 Live, he's a babyface general manager. On Monday Night Raw, he is a heel manager for AOP. Once again, what is the WWE creative team doing? They make absolutely zero sense. Right, Jason Funny?
Actually, that actually is kind of weird. It doesn't make no sense, I guess.
AOP is a heel tag team, and he is playing a heel for them. And he's a babyface on WWE Network on Tuesday nights.
What? It's outrageous.
Well, I see you are taking this very seriously. All right.
Oh,
Triple H.
yeah.
Triple H
King.
returned to Monday Night Raw tonight.
Yes, he did. I'm excited. I'm not really fond of that beard, but I'm excited that he returned.
You're not fond of
the beard makes him look way older. But,
okay. Well, Triple H returned.
But I do like Triple H.
And they have been building and grooming this last time ever matchup between The Undertaker and Triple H at the Australia Super Show on October 6th. Triple H just came out and basically said, short and sweet and to the point,
mm-hmm.
The little respect I have left for you, Undertaker, I'm going to put you down.
Very short,
but
effective.
He did say a little bit more about the Shawn Michaels segment, but the gist of it was, I'm going to put you down with the little respect I have left. Short, sweet, to the point.
Exactly what I said.
Very effective. Now, do you are you looking forward to Triple H versus Deadman at the Super Showdown?
Yes.
Do you like how Monday Night Raw is building towards 3 matches or 3 shows at one Raw at a time?
I think.
Because they're building towards Hell in a Cell, they're building towards Evolution, and they're building towards the Super Showdown all at once.
I'm thinking that just maybe they're trying to catch up with SmackDown.
But when you look at SmackDown,
they
only build up to Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm. But they don't have all these guest superstars showing up to help the ratings either.
No, they don't.
So maybe they're just trying to, yeah. So I think that's what the.
So you think Triple H and The Undertaker and all of them coming back, you really think that Monday Night Raw has to rely on them because in reality, SmackDown just absolutely wipes the floor with them.
Do you see them on SmackDown?
No.
Okay, there's a point taken. I mean, I like to see Triple H again, don't get me wrong. I love to see Mick Foley again and some of the old timers. I'm not against that. I'm an old school person. But come on now, people, let's get to reality. They're trying to there's a few that I really enjoy on Raw, but I mean the storylines they're just trying to they're trying to get himself out of the mud on ratings anyway. Trying to boost the ratings.
So Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Baron Corbin are backstage. Now, as we know, the Shield was the Shield was arrested last week.
Arrested? Last week they were?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for the update.
They were arrested last week and all that stuff that I'm not going over again.
Anyway, last Raw video.
Yes. That's live on the channel right now. That review is. But last week, as we know, they were arrested. This week, Baron Corbin threatens to arrest them if they don't leave the building because they came and started a fight again, beating everybody up with boards. Right?
Right.
Well, next thing we know, there's a cop in there waiting with his badge to arrest Baron Corbin.
Yes. So that's why that was going on.
Because apparently Baron Corbin faked some charges.
Oh, that's the reason the cop was there. That's a shame. Oh, my goodness.
And after he faked charges, they got released and all that. Well, now we are seeing Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose at Hell in a Cell for the tag titles. Do you think the tag titles are going to change? Are you interested in seeing this match?
I have not really been interested in tag team action in a long time.
Now, personally, the match I'm interested in seeing. I'm not interested in seeing Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre job out to the Shield.
Job out?
That means just lose the titles right to them.
Oh.
I'm not interested in seeing that. All 3 titles being in the Shield's faction, I'm not interested in seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Titles need to be spread out within the roster.
Uh-huh.
Everybody needs a little piece of the pie.
Yum. Pie.
Gable and Bobby Roode. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Glorious Bobby Roode. Versus the Ascension.
Glorious.
Do you think this is going to last very long? I don't think. Bobby Roode has already been...
he's very arrogant.
Well, he's already been showing little signs of getting irritated at Chad Gable because Chad Gable's been tagging himself in, amongst other things, during the tag team matchups.
Bobby Roode is just like me,
arrogant.
Is a little bit... I was going to say that he thinks highly of himself.
Pompous?
No. He just that, when after you wit, you don't need no help from chump change.
Yeah.
And stuff. Well, arrogant.
Ronda Rousey and Natalya take on Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. A lot of people are going to criticize this matchup, and I already know it.
Why do you know that? Because it was a lousy match?
No, because Alexa Bliss and Mickie James beat up Ronda Rousey.
Mickie James is okay.
I'm just going to
Ronda Rousey.
A lot of people are going to criticize this.
Like a man.
I just know they're going to criticize it because they think Ronda Rousey should go in and whip Alexa Bliss like a rag doll.
Uh-huh.
Just like at SummerSlam.
Like UFC.
Now, I am glad, and this is the one thing that I will say about the main event, what we saw at the main event, that I will actually defend, which you won't hear me say that much about Roman Reigns, but I will defend. I will say in a couple different ways what I think about what happened at the main event. But Ronda Rousey showing some weakness for once is okay. Because we all know the outcome. At the end of Hell in a Cell, Ronda Rousey still Raw Women's Champion. The bad guy, the challenger, can't always get her butt kicked every single week.
And they signed her to be... Yeah, exactly.
She can't do that.
It's not UFC. This is WWE, and she's pretty much,
We already went over Elias and Mick Foley. Elias took on Finn Balor afterwards. Finn Balor picked up the victory after a good contest.
I don't remember that, but...
The Undertaker will be here next week on Monday.
Whoa!
The Dead Man returns. It just brings back to what we were saying earlier. Even though we are thrilled to see the bell toll once again. Everybody likes to see the bell toll and the dead man walk out. What's going to happen after October 6th? I mean, seriously. What will happen after October 6th?
He disappears.
They won't have that show, that big, huge show to rely on. So
Better come up with something.
So what legend from the past are they going to do to build up excitement? I hate saying it that way, but it's true. Because the best parts of the show the last few weeks have been Taker and Michaels, have been Foley, have been part-timers from the Attitude Era coming back, cutting promos.
I know,
even though some people think that, even though I'm sure people do not like why Mick Foley came back just to try to build up Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns match. Still, what he said as far as the promo and his involvement tonight was the best part of the show.
I know what
bar none.
I know what they'll do after October. They'll bring out Hulk Hogan.
Well, they could.
They need to feature Finn Balor more because that guy is awesome.
And of course, the main event. Braun Strowman coming out and wanting Roman Reigns. Now, usually, I would sit here and I would gripe, moan, groan, complain about the creative of WWE. Now, you wrestling fans out there that think that I am switching and thinking that everything WWE does is just absolutely awesome. Forget it. But there's a few different ways that you can look at this. Number one, okay? Braun Strowman, okay? Mm-hmm. There's no doubt he's losing Sunday. He will not walk out the winner.
Of course not.
Mick Foley's the referee, okay? Mm-hmm. Mick Foley's not going to count Roman Reigns' shoulders to the mat, okay? Very rarely has he ever counted a baby face's shoulders to the mat.
Really?
Okay? Very rarely. If you go back in history, how they booked Mick Foley as a special guest referee. Okay?
Really?
That's number one. Number two, over the past weeks of the build to Hell in a Cell, Braun Strowman has gotten the upper hand. Mm-hmm. Okay? Number three, Roman Reigns just got the Universal Championship. They're not going to take the title off of him. And since Roman Reigns has been brutally just destroyed over the last few weeks, just like Alexa Bliss, you cannot have him look like dirt again. So, what do? You make it seem like he can at least show some offense towards Braun Strowman, who is an unstoppable force. Now, the one thing that WWE does fail to realize is we already know that Roman Reigns can beat Braun Strowman. He's done it in the past. But Roman Reigns can't get his butt handed to him each and every week. He has to show some offense. And him doing a Samoa drop through by the announce table, off the announce table tonight, proved that he got some offense on Braun Strowman leading into
and a Superman punch.
And a Superman punch.
Bam!
So, what do you think about all that? Are you in some agreement? I notice you're not sitting here cringing like I know you usually do when I talk about Roman Reigns.
Well, use a little bit nicer this time.
No, I looked.
You've been worse towards him before.
I told it logically. I said exactly the way you could look at it.
Well, he's. It's to be honest with you. He makes a great champion, so why should he lose the belt?
He's a Roman Reigns joy juicer. Ow.
Weird Al
Anyway.
likes Roman Reigns too.
Yeah, Weird Al does too. I'm not sure about that. He's just saying that. Anyway, my knuckle hurts now.
Ouch.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Monday Night Raw review. Go and check out his YouTube channel. What is
Jason Funny 42 channel. You should know that by now.
And look forward to your Blast from the Past, WWE Blast from the Past. Jason Funny's view of Blast from the Past. And, of course, everything else that you see on this channel on a weekly basis.
Superman punched the table again, Webby.
That's okay.
Yeah,
You'll
Jason
see.
Funny 42. Also catch me on Twitter at Jason Funny 3, and also my YouTube, my Facebook page at Funny Tubers 42.
You'll also see him on my preview and predictions podcast this week and the review this week of Hell in a Cell. So tune in for that and see you tomorrow for SmackDown Live review. And until I see you again, catch you on the other side.